broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Jameis on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. They go play action. Winston. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. This is taken at the 15. Gets around him. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. This is Breida. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 18. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run the counter with Cook, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Jameis to throw it. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
No. Check. Patriot.
They run with Breida. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And they've got it here with a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now it's Breida. A nice little juke. Once more the juke. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And New York set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackled by Jordan Willis.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Ready. Black 22.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Here's Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Gone.
On 1st and 10, Maddox. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Maddox. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. It makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Ready. 125.
2nd down, Winston. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. Touchdown, Giants! Demaryius Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun, Maddox. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Larry Ogunjobi busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
To throw on 2nd down. Maddox over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
On 3rd down, that's Hines. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 1st down, Maddox. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, Winston. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
It's brought in by Adam Humphries. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Here's Winston. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. To the air again with Winston. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Jameis again. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Ready? Move it. Where's that up?
On 2nd down, Winston again. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Ready? White 25.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the gun, Winston into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start on the ground with Breida, and he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Here's Breida. Oh, able to avoid him. Room past the 20. As they'll finally stop him at the 23-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 up. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. This one fielded at the 5. Gets past one man. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mannix, he's going to walk one deep left side here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Does that happen to you? Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Love them.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 7. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys. Covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Gone! Detroit!
To throw on second down. Maddox. He's going to launch this thing. They've got his man complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. And even 50 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his pass incomplete. Desmond King there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. On third down, Maddox. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Frank Clark in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Winston. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. A give. This is Cook. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A very solid gain of 27. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter match. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Randy Gregory in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He gets it to Humphries. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing, Winston. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, and look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now Winston, they got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A 1st down throw for Winston. Fighting through pressure. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Again, it's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Adoree Jackson right there, step for step in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Well, let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Gone! Detroit!
Looking to throw on second down. Maddox, and they can't bring him down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Throwing on first down. Maddox. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
To throw on second down. Maddox. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown. And frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Looking to throw. Maddox. And that will be incomplete as well. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down.
Detroit!
From the gun, Maddox. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Frank Clark in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of the time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game fourth quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it. Here's Cook. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. And Godot's kick is right through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
They'll begin the drive with Breida. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Gun!
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards. With that grab, by the way, Antonio Brown now over 10,000 receiving yards in his career.
That is an incredible, significant accomplishment. You're saying 10,000 yards? How many other guys have done that in NFL history?
He's the 46th all-time.
And one of the few that are active.
Yeah,
incredible.
There's only a few that are active. He still, though, is a ways away from Jerry Rice, up over 22,000 for the all-time lead. And he rifles one incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. Man, it's caught inside the 10. A huge play there for Washington. 42 yards. Well, I guess at the very least they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
No. Check. Patriot.
They come out here in the eye.
Detroit. Leopard.
He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And that's going to tie us at 13. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, Winston. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield, go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to him.
And now this first drive in OT continues. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Ready. Black 22.
Winston now from the 50. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up.
Ready.
Jameis to throw it. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, fourth down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 319. 319. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Off play action. Maddox sliding out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Frank Clark able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Operating from the gun. Maddox. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Backed up deep in their own territory. They were in search of a cushion, and the cushion was found.
And you have to think total game, even in overtime. As a head coach, field position still counts in this spot. So they had to get out from the shadow of their own goal line, get themselves some breathing room. Obviously, that helps them on offense, but it may help their defense, too. Might be necessary here in OT.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts. Maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heels. A timeout here would be a good idea and try and get themselves settled because we're in OT. This is big time.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again. Maddox. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And now with 6 seconds left in overtime, they're going to take a timeout. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Maddox. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
Well, we had 2 ties last season in 2016, and now we've got another here.
They're part of the game, and I can sound philosophical here and say, well, what can you do? But neither team happy, right? No one wants to walk away from here with a tie, but I guess it's better than walking away with a loss, right?
Yeah.
hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. I'm too on one day on my third. I was too broke, now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy? Man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew up right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up. Round blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couch with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money.